Hi guys, my name is David. If you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. And if you have been watching my videos for a while now, welcome back. So the novel that I will be reviewing today is The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson. I have a physical copy of it. And I did this as part of a buddy read and collaboration with Gregory LaPerche, as he is a massive Brandon Sanderson fan. If you go onto his channel, he's always talking about Brandon Sanderson. I think this is his favourite author, and his Cosmere and his novels in general. So when I bought this novel quite a while ago, I got it brand new when the bookshops over here in the UK opened for the very first time after lockdown. I can't really remember which one. I asked Greg if he had read this. He said no. And then I asked him if he would like to do a buddy read with it, and he really wanted to. And yeah, for the past few weeks now, we have been messaging back and forth on his Discord and sharing our thoughts and feelings, which have been pretty much the same, but with some slight differences. But it was a really fun experience. And I will also link down Greg's channel down in the description as well, so please check his channel out. He just doesn't review Brandon Sanderson novels. He talks about fantasy as well, and he is really into politics. So please check out his channel. He is awesome. He is a really laid back guy, and he's also really friendly as well. I also read this novel for a readathon that I am taking part in and also co-hosting as well, and that is a Bookworm's New Year readathon. And the prompt that this book fulfills is a 2021 reading goal, as I want to dive into Brandon Sanderson's work. I know he hasn't written a ton of stuff. I think his most popular or well-known works are Mistborn and the Stormlight Archive, which I want to read. And this year I want to read at least one Brandon Sanderson novel every month. So I know that in February I am going to be reading the second Mistborn novel, The Well of Ascension, which I'm extremely looking forward to. And yeah, I just want to delve into this author, as I actually found out about Brandon Sanderson from having this channel, so I'm really happy that this author was brought to my attention. And I will also put up here a picture of the bingo cards. As you can see, I have only 2 prompts left to go, but technically I have, as of today, finished this readathon. I've completed all the prompts. I just need to record and upload the other 2 videos, which will be coming in the next day or so. And this novel was originally published on the 14th of May 2013. So before I tell you guys what the story is all about, I just want to say that this is going to be a spoiler-free video, and this is going to be my own personal thoughts and feelings regarding this novel. And additionally, I just want to give a quick warning. This is a fantasy book, and it does have some made-up words for characters and places, and this may result in me mispronouncing certain things, so apologies if I do so. So this story is set in a fictional world which is called the United Isles. At the beginning of the book, it does have a map, and it's a really detailed map. It has little different islands scattered throughout a wide ocean, and all these islands are connected by a railway line that connects to each of these islands, which goes over this ocean and transports you to all these different isles or islands. And in this, so this is like a fictional world. It does mention Europe and America, not a lot, but quite a bit throughout this book. And me and Greg were kind of debating whether this is a parallel Earth or whether this is a post-apocalyptic Earth. I personally think that this is a parallel version of Earth. So this story follows a young boy called Joel, who is a student at a school which is called the Artemis Academy, or Artemis Academy. Once again, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This school is, if you think about Hogwarts, but it's not just it's actually not just like a magical school. It has, I mean, half of it is where ordinary students, which are described in the book as being ordinary, it's just like you and me, and they are studying normal subjects such as maths, English, history, geography, and all that type of stuff. And there is another section of this school, which is the more magical section, which is called the Rithmatists. Now, the Rithmatists are magical students. They have a magical ability, and their magic system is they can get a piece of chalk and draw on the ground, and they can do these as a form of battles. So, for example, when they are doing battles, they first thing that they do is draw a circle around each other. I mean, around themselves. So that little dot is the Rithmatist themselves, and they draw a circle around themselves, and these circles are called the circles of warding. And there's numerous different types of these circles, which are shown in the book. And they can also draw lines, like simple, straightforward lines, straight lines. And these lines are called lines of forbiddance. If you think about these lines as a form of shield which protects the Rithmatist from actually being damaged or defeated in these battles that they that they actually take place in. So the way that they defend themselves is by shooting a line which is called the line of vigor, which is more of a wavy line like that. And they use these by actually shooting them out and attacking other Rithmatists in their circle of warding. And when these hit the circles, they can break bits of chalk. And when the circle is actually breached, then that Rithmatist is defeated. They can also use something which is actually called chalklings. Now, chalklings are, to put it bluntly, doodles. Now, the more detailed your doodle is, the more effective it will actually be. So if it's like just a stick figure, that will be like a really weak chalkling. But if you put like a smile and hair on it, then that will be technically a more stronger chalkling. And the chalklings have many different functions, as far as I'm aware. They can attack circles of warding, and they also can protect the Rithmatist in their circle of warding as well. There are also numerous like drawings that you can make. So if you make them more like muscular and like sturdy, they can be more defensive ones. And if you give them more legs and more like details, they can be more faster and quicker in battle. So there's numerous different types of circles and chalklings that you can actually do. And you can also reflect the lines of vigor from the lines of forbiddance, so they kind of like ricochet off them. There are different types of techniques, and they are also referred to in the book as well. At the beginning of each chapter, you have the like this, for example. And this, if you think about it this way, like this is like drawn on like a chalkboard, for example, and it's kind of like a teacher teaching you about this different techniques in this world. It can be very complicated at first, but as the book goes on, as I said, they're at the beginning of each chapter, and you get used to them. But yeah, sorry if that was a bit overly explained. I just wanted to tell you exactly what the Rithmatists are. These chalks, these pieces of chalk that these Rithmatist students use, they aren't anything special. They're just normal bits of chalk that you and me can actually use. But the ordinary students, they can draw all these lines and they don't come to life. But when the Rithmatists do, they do come to life. The Rithmatist students are they actually work much harder than the ordinary students. They actually work longer hours, and they have more weight and pressure to perform better than the rest of the students in the school. And the ordinary students and the Rithmatists don't. I mean, they actually are in the same school, but they don't like mix together and mingle, and they aren't friends with each other. They actually put up with each other. They don't hate each other, but they don't like meet up and be friends and all that type of stuff. And that goes as well with the teachers. So back to the story. It focuses around Joel, who is a ordinary boy, and he wants to be a Rithmatist, but he has gone through the procedure, and which, as far as I'm aware, when these kids are small, they go into a room, and when they go straight into it, they walk straight out again, and they either have the power of Rithmatists or not. Rithmatists are very limited, as when one dies, another can replace it. So if no Rithmatists die, then there can be no more Rithmatists, technically. And these are also chosen by a mysterious character called the Master. We never really see the Master, but he's mentioned quite a bit in this book. He's like a mystical figure. So Joel isn't a Rithmatist, but he is extremely interested in the Rithmatist world and all these lines that they actually draw and all these doodles that they draw. He's very knowledgeable. He's very skilled in doing all these drawings himself. And he's always telling people at his school, his fellow students, about this, and this bores them. He's actually very intelligent, but he doesn't really have any friends. He talks to people, she talks to students in his school, but he doesn't really have any friends. He's very academically inclined, and he's very intelligent as well. When students, all these Rithmatists in this world are attacked and they are kidnapped by this strange figure, no one knows what's actually happening. No one knows why these students are being attacked and kidnapped, because their bodies aren't actually found dead. They are just found missing, and there may be some blood on the floor, and no one knows where they've actually gone to. And this is where the book becomes like a more of a like a fantasy mystery type of thing. Think about Harry Potter, but with a mystery twist. So Joel knows that he can't be a Rithmatist, but he is always sneaking into Rithmatist classrooms, even though that's strictly forbidden and looked down upon by the Rithmatist professors. One of the professors that we actually meet up straight away is called Professor Fitch, who is very timid. He's very unsure about himself. He's very intellectual. He knows his subjects inside out and back to front and upside down and side to side, but he's very timid and shy. And when one of the other teachers confronts him and wants to have a duel with him, this professor is called Professor Nazlar, who is like Snape a lot. He's very unlikable, and he is very he wants to have fights all the time and like teach the students to be really aggressive in the battlefront, and he wants them to actually be the best that they can actually be, but very aggressively. So Fitch loses to Nazlar, and in doing so, he has to. They have to switch roles. So Nazlar gets the position that Fitch was in, and the Fitch goes back to what Nazlar was actually doing. So Joel goes to Fitch and actually becomes his assistant, and he does this purely because he wants to, research the Rithmatist world. He knows he can't be one, but he knows that if he can't be one, then the best thing that he can do is to research this whole world and write a book and be like an expert in this subject. And along the way, Fitch um, uh, and Joel investigate these mysterious, what I wouldn't say murders, but disappearances, and um, and these only happen to Rithmatists. They don't actually happen to ordinary people. And along the way, we come across a character called Melody, who is a young Rithmatist student. She's very unsure about herself. She says that she can't draw right, but her chalklings are really beautifully detailed. And Joel, along the way, befriends her, and they become close, and he teaches her how to draw properly and do battles and all that type of stuff. We also come across a principal of this school called Professor York, who is a okay character. He's not really like Dumbledore, but he's okay. And along the investigation of these disappearances, we come across a police officer called Inspector Harding, who is really dedicated into finding out what's actually happening. And he's had all these policemen at the school, and he's guarding all these students, and he seems to be dedicated in his job. So that's pretty much the storyline. It's like a mystery about, they want to find out what's actually happening to all these students. And in this world, we actually come across a strange tower in the middle of this world, which is on the islands of Nebrask and Tower, or it's simply called the Tower. And as I said, it's in the middle of this world. Just get it up for you. So yeah, there it is, right in the middle. And these Rithmatists are actually constantly there. They're in a war, and they draw a massive circle around this tower. It's massive, and they do this in order to keep all these wild chalklings in this tower and keep them from escaping. Wild chalklings are very aggressive. They have been known to attack and kill and eat people, like ordinary people and Rithmatists, pretty much anyone that gets in their way. And it's really detailed about how this is actually described in the book. They actually eat people's flesh, and they also eat people's eyes. It's very graphic and bloody. We don't really know why they are protecting this tower, or what's actually in this tower. Although there is a unique character called King Gregory, which me and Greg had like a kind of like a good talk on. It's like the best character in the world. All hail King Gregory. And I actually personally thought that the tower was King Gregory's castle. But I don't know if that makes sense, because why would they be guarding if there's always chalklings in it? But I don't know. But this book was incredibly fun and enjoyable to read. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's the main storyline. Sorry if it was a bit long. I wanted to be detailed. But without further ado, let's go straight over to Greg now, where he will be telling us what he liked and disliked about this novel.
Hey guys, I'm Gregory. I had so much fun reading The Rithmatist with David. So one thing I did like about this book is the amount of like Harry Potter vibes and the nostalgia I got while reading this, because Harry Potter is at its heart just a mystery book in a fantasy world, and this was also a mystery book in a fantasy world. But this is actually in a lot of ways better than Harry Potter, because Sanderson himself is less controversial on Twitter, and I think the world in this and the magic system in this are more well thought out, and they made me think more than Harry Potter's world and magic system, which was fun in its own right. But this magic system was very fun too, based on the chalk, so I liked that a lot. The thing I didn't like was the mystery aspect of it. Felt a little young to me. And yes, it's like maybe like a high-level middle grade book or a YA book, so I wasn't expecting like, you know, Sherlock Holmes mystery novels. But I was hoping for maybe a few more potential suspects throughout the book. And yeah, I had so much fun messaging David my like theories of like how it could be like this person and stuff. Even though usually my theories didn't make any sense, I just like weird theories. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching, and back to David. Hail King Gregory.
Thanks for that, Greg. And if you want to know what my like and dislike was for this novel, don't forget to check out Greg's video. I will link it down below. And also I will link down below a link to Greg's channel. So please check his videos out. He is amazing. So in conclusion, if you are not really sure whether Brandon Sanderson is going to be your jam or not, or if you're new to fantasy and you don't know where to start, then I would certainly pick up this one. It's more of a YA fantasy book. It's not complex to understand whatsoever, although, as I said, the rules of the Rithmatist battles and defences can get a bit overly complex to understand, but the story as a whole, not complex at all to actually follow. And as I said, it's more of a, it gave me loads of Harry Potter vibes, and it does have a good mystery in it. So I would highly recommend this to anyone new to fantasy, anyone new to Brandon Sanderson, or if you are like Greg and if you are a massive Brandon Sanderson fan, then definitely pick this book up. So I am going to rate this book 4 stars out of 5. It's a really great and fun read, and it's one that I would like to go back and do a reread on. I believe he is writing a sequel to this as the ending. I won't say what happens at the end, but it does say that it's to be continued. So I believe he's going to be writing a sequel to this, and I cannot wait. I will be reading the sequel when it comes out, and I cannot wait. So that's it, guys. That is my review on The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson. If you've enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment down below. Let me know if you've liked this book, if you enjoyed this book, or if you didn't enjoy it. Let me know if I've maybe inspired you to pick this book up. And if you comment about it, we can talk about it in the comments down below. But try to make it as spoiler-free as you possibly can, as I don't want anyone else to be spoiled. If you've enjoyed this video as a whole, as always, please consider subscribing, as it helps out so much. If you do subscribe, please click on the little bell notification, just so it reminds you about whenever I upload videos, which are every Monday and Friday. But sometimes I upload on different days as well, but it's very rare. And I will also link down below a link to my Goodreads account in case you want to follow me on Goodreads. And with all that said, have a great day, read some awesome books, and I will see you all in my next video.